Okay, hello everyone. This video has been long overdue, but I will now be concluding my series of the village transformation by showing you the finished product. And as you can see, I will now give you a bird's eye view of the place. And as you can see, it has turned out very nicely. I'm very happy with, ignore that, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Besides a few things like that thing over there, I forgot to finish that. But the others we'll get into later. For now, I'll walk you through the village. And for the first building, you'll see it's the gatehouse. There's not much to say. People come in, people come out. The guards inspect whoever comes in or out in order to make sure that they aren't, like a serial killer or something. This area here is like a mini stable, so if the travelers like on a horse or any sort of mount, they can be stored in here and they'll be fed and taken care of. And if you go in the village, the first thing you'll see is the tavern. So, it's a place where any travelers can stay in. I actually built this the wrong way. It's supposed to be facing here, but as you can see, there's no entrance. It's only here. And if you're curious about what it looks like in the interior, there's nothing. It's just a bunch of beds. I was too lazy to do the interiors now. I was tired of this project. I wanted to move on and do other stuff. And I really only made this video so I can practice a habit of finishing what I start, which I think will be useful in the future. Anyway, moving on, as you can see, walk through here, you see the constable and the blacksmith. This blacksmith is actually my favorite building, especially like in terms of composition. If you stand here and press F1, it makes a really cool shot. Like the building's framed by those two little huts over there, and there's this little cart that's a bit unnecessary, but that's okay. I like how it turned out. These little huts here are just little residential houses, for villagers to live in. There's not much, there's just two beds and that's it. And a little campfire with the bell, for people to gather around, hang out, chill, tell stories or whatever. And one of the things that I would change about this village looking out is if I go over here and I walk out, you'll notice that these cars are blocking the majority of the road, which is not an ideal thing that you want for your village or city. So if I were to change this, I would probably make the roads wider. But as you can see, the buildings are placed so close to the roads that if I were to widen them, I'd have to move the buildings, and that's just too much of a pain. I'm so lazy. And another thing, actually, speaking of roads, is, for example, I'm walking through here, I'm walking through the barn, the farm, crops are grown here, pretty cool, nice atmosphere, I like it. But if you walk through here, you reach a dead end. And that is not usually something you want for your village or city. You want roads to link up with others so people can be constantly traveling back and forth, and it just feels nice instead of just running into a dead end every 3 turns or so. It just makes it feel nice to travel in and get lost in. In fact, I think that's one of the charm of a lot of good cities out there. And we can also actually see this in video games like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's great for its atmosphere. You just get lost in it, but you feel so safe and fascinated. And I think that has to do with the level design. Everywhere always leads to somewhere, so you never feel like you're going the wrong way. But you get the sense that it's a big place and you're lost, and that's okay. Anyway, small tangent there. Moving on. Here we have the stables. There's not much to say. You keep horses in it. There's some hay bales here for them to eat, some water to drink. And if you go here from the back, there's a bunch of storage areas here for the people who take care of the horses. And the constable, here you have a little wall to keep criminals and animals out, whatever small dangers in the village. If you enter here, you'll see a shooting range. There's a bow, you shoot them. Alright, that's it. As you can see, there's no interior, only a door. only a door and then the tower. And if you go into the back here, you also see like a small little storage area with a few horses ready to be mounted and used if needed, like during an emergency whenever it's urgent. And there's like a small storage area here, containing weapons, arrows, and the armor sets and more weapons, bows, crossbows, axes, stuff like that. Anyway, moving on, we have more huts, a plant area, a forest, and this tree that I forgot to finish because I'd never noticed until now. Oops. Anyway, here is the library. It looks like a castle, which I thought was really cool, but this turned out to be my least favorite building in the village. I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's just like too blocky for my taste, or maybe it's just how the towers look. They don't really blend in well with the rest of the building. So I'd probably just change the entire thing if I had the chance to, but I'm lazy, so Anyway, we move on to the church here. This is actually my favorite place in terms of decoration and atmosphere. I just think I did like the best job I could here. And if you look into the church, there's no interior obviously, but I really like the structure, the shape, with the tower. And if you actually look at it from a bird's eye view, it looks like a cross, which I thought was a really cool way to model your shapes. Actual churches and cathedrals are actually shaped roughly like churches in real life, which is where I got the inspiration. So, little fun fact there. If you go to the side here, there's like this little plant garden with my custom tree. I'm not sure how good it is. And it's supposed to be like a place where priests and librarians can go out to work in if they prefer the ambience and the atmosphere here. So there's a bunch of workstations here. You can actually go up here and you'll see like a little plant garden if you want to admire it. There's like a little rock here, for people to work in. There's even like a small improvised bookshelf here that people can use if they want to. And if you go through the forest, there's more custom trees. I planned there for there to be another park here, but it was never shown in the showcase. And as you probably already know, I'm lazy, so I never did it. And yeah, so we're moving on here. This is the enchanting table, and I really like the concept of like just having the enchanting table on a small floating island. It makes it look more magical, so that's what I did. And the way to get up here is to actually parkour on this bookshelf, so I'm gonna see if I can make it. And alright, first try, I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, so you go in here, you enchant. I don't know why it's only like 4 levels or whatever. When I tested this sometime in the past, it was like 30, so I don't know what happened, but it's an enchanted table. So yeah, as you can see, there's smaller rocks here for people to sit on and work, more bookshelves and stuff. And here's another part with a little plant garden you can sit on. As you can see, more workspaces, and I didn't really add much detail to this one compared to that because there's like a giant tree here, so I figured that would be like a point of interest and I wouldn't have to detail as much. But just to be safe, I did add like this little plant garden for people. And I think those are all the buildings I have to show you. Let's go on F1 and take let's go on F1 and take one last look in the village. So you can see the church, the library, the barn. I'm pretty happy with how all this turned out. It's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to doing more builds in the future, doing more projects. And I've also been wanting to do lots of animatics in the future because I don't know, I'm not an expert, but I noticed that statistically speaking, a lot of you seem to like it. So, and though it might take a while because I'm still 8 months into drawing. I'm relatively new. I'm like an amateur compared to like all the people in the industry with like drawing since they were born or something. And I could use some time to improve my skills. But if you want to get an idea of what animatics I plan to make, I have like a lot. I have a lot of ideas in my head. I'll just flash like a list of fandoms and a list of fandoms that I want to make animatics of on the screen right now. I also want to make OC animatics in the future, but those are my own ideas. Those are like my original ideas. Those things come from my own head. So I want to like take my time and improve. So when I start rolling out my own ideas, when the stuff in my head starts to get out, I'll be at my best, and you guys will love them or hate them. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I just want to get better at art before I start rolling out my own original ideas and stuff. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it for now. I might not upload the video next week because midterms are coming up and university, they love midterms. They love making it hard and making me cry. I'm not actually sure what I'm doing recording this video. So if you're one of my professors, I hope you're not disappointed in me. But I'll be honest, you probably already are. Anyway, that is all for now. Expect future content, more building time lapses, some tutorials, some guides, more animatics in the future, hopefully. And I think that will be all for now. And I will see you guys next time.